Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Intuitive Tuesday. It's the 26th of April, 2022. And of course, these messages are for you whenever you listen to them. So this morning, as I am just kind of, going over some things, a question popped in that said, what role has my intuition played in my life's decisions? And my absolute first thought is everything. Everything. You know, I evaluate everything. My intuition is my higher divine spark, my divine neural pathways to my divine self. It is, the higher, more intelligent connection of me to the divine source. And that just came out of my mouth. I did not write that down. So, anywho, I don't hear voices. I don't channel anyone. It's just me knowing stuff. I just know stuff. And, technically someone wants to call that, claircognizance. I call it just a clear knowing. It's a clear knowing. It's just all my life. It's been, how did you know that? How did you feel that? How did you sense that? And I can't explain it. And, it's through all your sensories, right? You can feel it. You can see it, because it's clear visual. I'll get pictures. It's a clear feeling, within my body. This is to me working with my own empathic self. And that's why I always stress, let's learn how to hone it, skill it, and become a master of empathicness. Because that is where you filter all of your information, is through all of these sensories and more. And the more you practice it, the better you get. So some people will call it, gifts, psychic abilities. And then those people who say they're speaking to the Lord and all the other things, they'll call it prophetic, and that psychic is dark. And you know what? That's freaking BS. It's total BS. Yeah, are there people out there that dabble in stuff? Yeah, okay, great. But I don't. I keep myself completely aligned in my heart center, and everything I do is do no harm, and everything has to be in love. Everything has to be in love. And so, as I've gotten older, my clear knowingness, the wisdom that comes through always lets me know, am I supposed to relay this message? Am I not supposed to relay this message? And if I get to relay it, then I will sometimes have to pick up the phone and call a very distant acquaintance and say, hey, look, this just came through. Do with it what you want. But don't throw it back at the messenger with a pissy response. Just take it, work with it, be with it, and let it just evolve for you. And guess what? Every time I've done that, I've agonized a little over it, and then I've made the call or made the message, and the response is beyond amazing. Like it laid on their lap exactly at the moment they needed to hear it, see it, sense it, feel it. So I listen when my intuition tells me something. And let me tell you something. The first thing to kick my ass is my intuition. Because when I don't follow it, it'll be like, I knew that. Ugh. But I didn't take action. So it requires action. And sometimes it requires you being the messenger that, well, receival is not, it's not always welcomed. So I'm very careful as I've gotten older on what I say and how I say it and who I say it to. And really, in the last couple of years, it's been more about people learning their own lessons and figuring out their own intuition. So, I always prided myself on never giving advice. People said, I need some advice. Like, I don't give advice. This has been since I was a teenager. I don't give advice. You can share with me your information. I can process it through all of my filters, and I can say what might come up or what they're showing me, or what is something I might do. And for 9 times out of 10, I used to go, well, if I was in this position, I might do this. So that takes the intuitional part out of it. So I didn't really claim my intuition until, a lot of years later, because some people will go, huh? Like, what are you talking about? I asked you. Well, I am me, and I am myself, and I am the I of the I am. So, I'm not talking about just my guide team. My higher self is the one who has to get the information through this physical avatar, right? So even if the messages are out here, I can go and kind of retrieve them and bring them in, process them through, and then decide how I'm going to put it out. Am I going to emanate it with energy? Am I going to speak it? Am I just going to, nourish it, feel it, be with it? I don't always know. But, everybody that's listening to this can honestly tell you, and if you just listen to yourself for a quick sec, when something comes through and there is this force of nature, you cannot explain why you know something or feel something or you have to do something. People will reach out and they go, I need an explanation, a left brain explanation. It's like you can't give it. And that's a real strong intuitive knowingness, right? And then there's the ones that come along where you're like, I'm going to need to work on this one just a little bit and see what else comes through before I take action. So you're learning to build upon this communication that you have with the dialogue of the divine heart spark. And that is all of you and all of the you of the universe, right? I think that looked like a you. Oh, who knows? You, whatever. Okay, so, the key is recognizing. The key is truly recognizing. I made a note of this. It's recognizing the innate systems as the same thing as you. It's bigger than you. It's inside of you. It's your antenna to the God source creator, the all of you that you are. And so with that being said, I was prepping for an interview and I said, okay, let me just get my cards out and, shuffle them and just see what might come up for me today or us today, because it's never about me. It's about me. Well, it's always about me, but whatever's going on here is what's going on there, okay? Because we're all one. We're all breathing the same air, okay? So think of that air as that life force, and all this information's in the air. If you want to think about it as something as simple as that, okay? Because everything needs air. Everything needs air, including the beautiful creatures in the sea. They're breathing in a different type of oxygen, but it's all the same thing. So let's go. So as I tossed my cards, I tossed them all on the floor, had to pick them all up, go back again. And then a whole bunch came out, and then I had to pick them back up. And then as I'm shuffling, this beautiful thing came out. So do you see that? You see that? So this is knowing who you are, DNA activation, consciousness, deep healing. All right? And so I see through God's eyes of pure consciousness as the external seer, because this is the realization that is upon me. So it talks about, if I drew this card, I'm opening the door to remembering and connecting to the divine energies from Lemuria, to the frequencies of the angelics, the elementals, the cosmic realm. The realization of the cosmic heart source brings you in full alignment to be an earthly channel that is the higher realms that can be received in. So I'm awakening and deepening my awakening. I'm unblocking. I'm going through the flow. I'm shedding old skin, shedding old belief systems, shedding old identities, shedding old deep feelings and emotions, the things that challenge me. And of course, this is me ad-libbing. All right. So then it goes on to say a lot, but it truly worked out with everything that I needed to hear today, and that I think y'all needed to hear, which is why I'm doing this. So it's my DNA activating, my cosmic light body, my divine blueprint. And so my affirmation is, are you ready? My affirmation, I I am awakening. I receive my divine DNA activation. As my whole being awakens, I am kind and gentle with whatever emerges from slumber, remembering that the night is often darkest before the dawn. I'm going to read that again. I am awakening. I receive my divine DNA activation. My whole being awakes. I am kind and gentle with whatever emerges from slumber, remembering that the night is often darkest before the dawn. So this just reminds me of Creator. It's so beautiful. And so when I do these cards, this artwork is all activation. So as soon as I did it, matter of fact, right now, it's like my whole head is like, bzzz. So I hold it, and I ask for the imprint of the original love base that this card was created with. The intention of the original art that this was created with the highest vibrations in this moment for me to take into my own DNA and to activate my own DNA. So, yeah. So I'm going to just suggest that you think about your own intuition, okay? Think about it. Think about what it is that can help you make your decisions without being all chitter-chattery and all up in the ego. And, you will also find, and when I say they're saying, it's my higher self is dropping something in, okay? So it's like there's this thing that just occurs, and you just have this calm knowingness that it's true, that you can't explain it. And so that's when you're starting to get the intuition. And then sometimes when you get them really strongly, you're willing to just go away from everyone else's thought process or belief systems about that subject, because you just know in your heart of hearts that this is what you need to do. And that is how I've lived my life. And that's how I've been called an oddball. And that's how, I have felt the levels of rejection through friends and family. And then that is also how I have built some of the best relationships, are those who can just be like, cool, do what you got to do, And so it's really tapping into that authentic you and your DNA blueprint of the divinity of all that is divine, and the I am of all that is, in the isness of the oneness that you are. So, yeah, I went a little over my 10 minutes today. I do try to keep these short, but I want you to tap in there. Start asking questions. Start talking to yourself and listening to the answers, which just brought up to me, they used to say that was insanity. You had mental illness. If you heard voices and then you answered, you heard them, but then it was a real click if you started to answer them. Well, guess what? I am so proud of that. For years, I go into the grocery store, and sometimes I'm talking to myself about something, and then someone will look down the aisle and go, I talk to myself too. And I go, yeah, but guess what? I answer myself too. So it's all one. It just is what it is. It's all good. So be good in your hood. Please like, subscribe, and leave me a lovely comment. Much love to each and every one of you.